Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to create some natural looking terrains, which means we are getting rid of this and changing these terrains to look like this. Or something like this. So we have a terrain, a blank terrain in our scene, and to select the terrain you have to go to Scene Manager and click on our terrain, and as you can see the terrain consists of two maps, that is Heightmap and a mask. And let's open this in Photoshop. And it also consists of few textures, 4 textures by default. And if you change this color of these textures, now you can see we have that we have 4 possibilities, and you can see how this mask map is affecting the terrain. So before diving into the texture part, let's just understand how this height map works. So inside Photoshop, let's just use brush tool and paint a white circle in the center, and let's switch back to, let's save this and switch back to Iclone, and now you can see how the white part has elevated amongst the rest of the terrain. So for natural height map, we are going to head to Google and search for Tangram height mapper, and this brings us to this website, which is very cool website that provides height map from all around the world. Look at this. So as you can see, the brightest part is where the Himalayas lies, but for now I'm gonna go to Japan, and I think this one is Mount Fuji, I'm not sure. So if you want to know about this, you can, and this, what's cool is that in this website what you can do is you can also click on map lines and map level, but I think it's all written in Japanese, so I don't understand. Now let's export this. You can just go ahead and click on the export here and save your map. So I'm gonna open this in Photoshop, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drag this map to our height map like this, but the resolution of our height map is too small. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna increase the image size of our height map. So just go to image and let's make it 300%. Now I'm gonna drag this map and I'm gonna scale this so that I get some space at the front. I'm gonna place this mountain not in the middle but somewhere here. So I think this looks good for now. And now let's merge the layers. You can just click on merge down or press Ctrl E, and let's save this. And boom, we have some great looking mountain. Of course, the height is too much, so we can always adjust the height, and let's just turn down these ugly colors. Just turn them back to gray. I'm just gonna turn them back to gray for now so that you can see the actual height, what's going on here. So there we go, you have, I think it's Mount Fuji. If it's wrong, please correct me, but I'm just gonna call this Mount Fuji for now. So we have Mount Fuji in our landscape. Now for the texture, I think the texture part is a bit tricky. So you can see some colors going on here. So let's just open this to Photoshop by clicking this button, and you cannot see the colors here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna first of all increase the size to 300%, and I'm just gonna select all of these or press Ctrl A and delete. So then I'm gonna, just for the demonstration purpose, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose a red color, and that is pure red, and fill this. You can simply press Ctrl backspace, or you can always go to edit fill and fill foreground color. Now if I save this and switch to Iclone, you can see there's nothing there. So I've realized that we also need some transparency for this to work. So if I turn down the opacity and save this, and now you can see the map. So which means if I go to materials and just change the color, now you can see that this is affecting the whole terrain. I'm just going to cancel this. And so now if we head back to Photoshop and create another color, I'm going to use green this time. And I'm just gonna erase some of the parts, maybe, and then merge this layer by pressing Ctrl E, or you can simply merge this. And if I save this now, so we have this mask, and now if we change the color, so now you can see the mask is working. So now that we have understood how this mask works, now let's press Ctrl Z, and I'm gonna create one more layer that is for blue. I'm just gonna fill this foreground color. Now I want to use this Heightmap as a reference. So for that, let's just select our red layer, turn the opacity to 100, and let's create a mask. So I want the height map to be copied inside of the mask, but if I paste this, it will make another layer. So to paste this height map inside this mask layer, what we have to do is press Alt and click on this mask, and now we can see the mask. Now if we paste our height map here, now you can see how this is affecting our red layer. So just to make it more visible, I'm just gonna create a backdrop layer and fill a black color. So now you can see that with the help of this height map, by using this height map as a mask, we can isolate these different colors to different areas. To copy this mask to all of the layers, I'm just gonna press Alt and drag this mask to the rest of the layers. For the red layer, what I'm gonna do is I just want this red to affect in the middle. And let's now head on to Iclone. Now you can see we have some mask. Make sure that your mask is updated. And for the textures, we can go to texturehaven.com, and here inside of this we have some terrain textures, and you can download these textures for absolutely free. And I've already downloaded a bunch of these textures, so you can actually download 2K, 4K, up to 8K versions, and I just downloaded some 4K and 2K textures. So after downloading these textures, what you can do is you can simply drag these textures in different height map. So for the red, or the center of the mountain, I'm gonna use this one, and as you can see, this is affecting a lot of area. So I think I want to decrease the red area, but before that I'm just gonna drag the normal map, and you can see some bump going on here. You can adjust these textures to your likings. Before I adjust any of these textures, I'm just gonna drag some other textures to other height maps. I'm going to click on Heightmap 2 and use this rocky texture. And for the third map, I'm gonna use I think I'm gonna go for this green aerial green grass. So this is how it looks now. So I think the red area is a bit too much. I want this to be affecting just the top of the mountain. So let's go ahead and edit our mask. So as I have told you guys, that the mask part is a bit tricky. It's easier to get the height, but to get the textures right, it's a bit difficult. If you guys have any better solutions, please comment. So to understand the scale, let's add a avatar, because I think this looks like a miniature now, also because of the textures. So as you can see, this texture is not matching. So what you can do is go to texture for this Heightmap 2, and you can scroll down and change the UV tiling. I'm just gonna lock the ratio and also click on affect all channels and make sure that your decal is RGB, and you can just increase the tiling. And also I want to create a lake in front of this mountain, but before that, what I want to do is I want to change the lighting and change the sky. So let's change the IBL and also click on turn on the sync sky. But as you can see here, the sky is too small. I'm going to select the sky inside Scene Manager and scale it to maybe 300%. So to create lake, we have to manipulate our height map. And if we look at our height map, we can see that there are some very dark and some very white parts. So as we know, the darkest part are the deepest, and the white or lightest part are the highest. And since the darkest part of our map is black, we won't be able to go darker than black. And for that, what we can do is we can lighten our entire map and then add some black to create the lake. So for this, I'm using levels. And there you can see some deep lake going on. So let's just add a water. So let's go to content and inside of water. For this, I'm just gonna choose the still normal and I think I want this green one. So now the whole terrain is inside the water. So to adjust this, you can just change the height offset until the water just inside the lake. Oh, so this is basically how we can create some terrain, a natural looking terrain inside Iclone7. And with this method, I think we can create beautiful looking terrains that even represents the actual real life terrains of the world. So I'm going to show you some of other examples that I have created using similar method. Now this was created with similar method and with some lighting, some fogs and some foliage and character, and also some particles and some animated light. We can create some beautiful looking scene here. And there is something mysterious going on here. And this one is another example created from the real depth map that downloaded from the website. And that is how we can create beautiful and natural looking terrain inside Iclone. And if this was helpful, please support my channel by liking, sharing and subscribing. Thank you.